we now enter the Kishkindha Kanda. We saw how after Sita was abducted by Ravana, Jatayu showed the direction in which Ravana took her. And then after that, Ram and Lakshman headed south through the forests, and they come to the region of what's called as Kishkindha. It is said to be near Hampi of today. And in that region, first, there is a very beautiful episode of meeting Shabari. So there is this old woman, Shabari, who was serving a bunch of rishis, and all the rishis told her they all left. And when they left, they said, "You alone remain here because you will be blessed with the darshan of Bhagavan in the form of Ram." So she has been waiting there. Every day she thinks my Ram will come. And so she decorates the place. It's a very small, beautiful forest abode, ashram. And she's alone there. She's decorating the place every day. And every day she is awaiting, keeping the place clean. And one day, sure enough, Ram and Lakshman walk that way and they enter the ashram of Shabari. And as soon as they enter, she cannot believe that finally her Ram has come. So she is so extremely pleased, thrilled, tears of joy flowing in her eyes, and she offers hospitality as she knows. She has all the forest fruits that are there, and she wants to give the best of the fruits to Ram. So she takes the fruits and she makes sure they are sweet by biting it, tasting it to make sure it's sweet, and then giving it to Ram. Lakshman looks at this curiously, but Ram smiles, and through his smile, Ram acknowledges the love of Shabari, even though because of her innocence, she didn't know to offer the fruit the way it is normally offered, but out of her immense love, she actually tasted it first and gave it to Ram, and that love was greater than what is offered through correct protocol, and so Ram accepted it joyfully. As Gita also Krishna says, anything offered with love I accept. Patram pushpam palam toyam, he says primarily. So the fruit offered with love is accepted by Ram very joyfully, and Shabari is highly elated. And Shabari represents the way to keep the heart. What Shabari represents is if we keep our mind pure and clean, she keeps the ashram clean every day, awaiting Ram to enter the ashram, and one day he comes. So similarly, it's very symbolic too that if we keep our inner temple, the mind and the heart pure every day, then automatically the divine descends, the divine reveals himself. So in this way, Shabari's episode is over, and then Shabari leaves. And then after that, Ram and Lakshman proceed further, and they enter the region of where the Vanaras are there. And in that region, Sugriva is in hiding because he has been driven out by Vali, his brother. And Sugriva's primary assistant is, of course, the great Hanuman. So when there is this news of two young princes walking in that region, everyone gets suspicious, and therefore they send Hanuman to find out what's happening. So Hanuman comes in the guise of a Brahmana. First time he meets his Prabhu Ram, he comes as a Brahmana, and he sees Ram and Lakshman, and he instantly knows it is what they call love at first sight. He sees Ram first time and he knows this is his Lord. And he approaches Ram and speaks in such perfect diction that Ram glorifies Hanuman's speech. He says, see how he speaks. This speech is possible only for one who is so clear and so intelligent and so refined in every way. And Hanuman offers to take them to his king Sugriva, and Ram says, yes, so shall be it. So Ram and Lakshman are taken by Hanuman to Sugriva, and there Sugriva describes what has happened, how his brother Vali has unfairly driven him out of the kingdom, and therefore Ram promises him that he will return the kingdom back to Sugriva, and Sugriva in turn promises that he will do whatever he can to get Mother Sita back. And in this way, they have a beautiful solemnizing of their friendship. And then Ram says, go and invite Vali for a fight, and I will handle it. In fact, before that, Sugriva wants to even test Ram. It's a very beautiful episode because Sugriva knows the immense power of Vali. So he says, I know you are a great prince, but how can I know that you can actually defeat Vali, because Vali is of such immense power. So Ram takes an arrow, and there are 7 trees in line, in succession. And Ram launches this arrow. It pierces all the 7 trees and comes back to his own, comes back to him. So when he sees this prowess of Ram, then Sugriva knows what a great archer Ram is. So later in Gita, Krishna says, of all archers, I am Ram. So there is no one who can be great at archery like Sri Ram. And that is why even today, anything that is perfect is called as Ramaban, arrow of Ram. Even today in the north, especially in northern India, if something works perfectly, it's called Ramban, arrow of Ram. It just works perfectly. So seeing the power of Ramaban, Sugriva is convinced. So they go and challenge Vali for a fight. And when Vali is fighting Sugriva, Ram kills Vali. And Vali complains to Ram, why did you kill me in this way? And Ram says that it is because of the way in which you unfairly treated your brother by taking his own wife away and by taking everything that belonged to him away, that you did not deserve to be fought directly, and therefore I had to kill you in this way. And furthermore, the inner reason is that if Ram appeared in front of Vali and Vali took surrender to Ram, then Ram would have no way to honor the word given to Sugriva. So Ram has made a vow that anyone who surrenders to him will be protected. And since he has given this word to Sugriva, he had to kill Vali. There is an inner symbolism behind it too, which is that Vali and Sugriva, being monkeys, represent thoughts. And when thoughts are struggling with each other, if we fight the thought with another thought, which is what Vali and Sugriva's fight represents, it is endless. But the pure awareness, which simply remains silently observing the thought, dissolves the thought by not directly fighting the thought. So one can see a symbolism of that nature also in Ram hiding and killing Vali, which is an incident that is invited great commentary, but it is very meaningful and symbolic. Then after that, Sugriva is coronated as the king. And Sugriva, sure enough, after becoming the king, forgets the promise he made to Ram for a while, gets indulgent in his pleasures of being the king again. And so Ram waits for some time and then asks Lakshmana to gently remind him. And when Lakshmana goes to Sugriva's court and reminds with his own way of expressing anger, Lakshmana's anger cannot be withstood by anyone. So when Lakshmana just twangs his bow and says, hey Sugriva, if you consider that you can just go on like this, know that your fate will be the same as your brother. So then Sugriva comes back to his senses. Then he arranges search parties in all directions. Sugriva is known to know the whole world very well because he, out of fear of Vali, he ran in all directions and therefore he knows all parts of the world, it is said. So he describes, in fact, in that portion of Ramayana, Valmiki through Sugriva describes all the various regions of the known, the known world of the time in all directions. And then various search parties go. And of course, the main search party is headed by Hanuman. And Ram knows that this is the one who will find it. So he gives his ring to Hanuman and says, when you see Sita, give this to her. And they all go in all directions. Hanuman's party goes in the south with Angada and Jambavan and so on. They go through various experiences. Finally, they reach the seashore and they realize that they haven't found Mother Sita. So they decide that we cannot go back to Sugriva and to Ram empty handed. It's better to give up our lives than to go back. So they all decide that we will just jump into the ocean and die. But before that, they say, when we die, let's at least recite Ramayana. So they start reciting Ramayana that has happened thus far. One of the beauty of Ramayana is when we just narrate Ramayana, great things happen. And even in Ramayana, we see this happen multiple times. Every time there is a struggle, every time there is a obstacle, the characters simply recite Ramayana and then things open up. So all the Vanaras, they start reciting Ramayana, starting from the birth of Ram, the wedding of Ram and Sita, the coming to the forest, the abduction of Sita. And when this is all being narrated, there is a big bird watching all this, thinking that it can eat all these monkeys because it's good prey. But when they come to the portion where they say Jatayu helped Ram, then this bird is immediately moved and he says, what did you say? What did you refer to? They say Jatayu. Then this bird says, Jatayu is my brother. And I'm so happy to know that you are coming from Ram and you've given me the news of my brother. So then this bird says, the one you're looking for went across this very ocean to the island on the other side. So now they know that they are not stuck. They have to go to the island. Now they have a different problem. How to go to the island, Lanka, which is much farther away. So they all debate among themselves. Nobody knows what to do. But then Jambavan finally says, the only one who can do this is Hanuman. And Hanuman doesn't believe in it. He says, how can I do this? It's not possible. But Jambavan says, you do not know your strength. And it is in fact something that Hanuman was cursed, that he will not know his strength himself because he did a play with the rishis in the beginning. But then at the right time, someone will remind you. So that is Jambavan. Jambavan reminds Hanuman that you can indeed do it. So then Hanuman realizes his true strength. So this is again symbolic because we think we are not capable. The mind, Hanuman represents the purely surrendered mind. And the purely surrendered mind is capable of anything, but it requires the Guru to tell us that you can do anything. So when Hanuman believes in this, then he climbs up the Mahendra Parvata and he takes Ram Nam. And with immense faith and great confidence, he jumps up from Mahendra Parvata and thereby he flies across. And that is how Kishkindha Kanda ends, with Hanuman leaving the shores of the ocean to go to Lanka.